views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Whether she's walking the red carpet or doing interviews, you'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready. This is the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Corey Taylor Talks live from Las Vegas. I am joined with Mr. Brian from LVSportz, and you have an amazing foundation. So why don't you tell people a little bit about it, because it's really such a cool thing and really well needed.
Okay, yeah. The foundation is called the LVSportz Foundation. We founded it back in 2012. Originally, it kind of started back in 2008 when my kids were playing sports, or our kids were playing sports, and me and my wife were having a hard time trying to find out the different kinds of sports leagues. There wasn't very information about that. So what we did is we created a website just for information, so different leagues and stuff. And from there, we started seeing that the sports injuries, we started recognizing a lot about sports injuries and stuff like that. So as we did our research, we found that there was a lot of kids getting injured and whatnot. So as we researched more, we came across sudden cardiac arrest and sudden cardiac death and concussions. Those are the two biggest things that are affecting youth sports and just sports period. So we just decided to go with it and just started pushing for awareness, and also cost for sports physicals was a big thing that I've noticed a lot of parents were complaining about. I don't want to get my kids a sports physical because the cost. So we decided to try to do free sports physicals, and then we started incorporating EKGs into that, and now we're doing 2D limited echoes. So that way we get a full aspect of a test that would cost upwards to $2,000 or more for kids and families. And sudden cardiac arrest doesn't affect athletes until they get up a little bit older, but we have had instances, especially here in town, where we've had an 8-year-old die on a baseball field. Just 2 years ago, we had a youth football player that was 14 years old die on a football field. But we can't catch everything, but we can at least try. And that's why we urge parents to get rescreened every couple of years, because as they grow, so does the heart. And our cardiologist has said that most things won't manifest up until they're 18 or older. So, but some do manifest a little bit earlier. So we try to catch them as early as possible.
Absolutely. And even honestly, I've heard of concussions, obviously, but I never realized how bad they were until I saw the movie Concussion, and it was just insane. It's absolutely horrible what it does, and it's not just immediately; it's till the rest of your life, and it's really horrible. So that's important.
And things like CTE, you don't know you have it. It's not something that'll manifest itself until later. And they're still doing research on it, and hopefully they find a way to find it earlier. But just those repeated blows to the head, and we're not trying to say keep your kids out of sports, especially like football. With proper training and whatnot, and that's what a lot of the NFL is trying to push, and the USA Football is pushing to better recognize how to stop those minor hits from taking effect. So since we were concentrating a lot on concussions, but with USA Football stepping up their game, we've kind of leaned back on that a little bit because they've been pretty active in the youth football community and some other stuff, and it's becoming more known. So it's something that we still want to get further into, but right now we've chosen to do more of the heart screenings, and it goes beyond just the heart screenings. We're also doing a CPR and AED program. we've kind of had to pause it for a little bit because the guy that we were using that helped us get it started, he was actually working for the Red Cross, but then he moved upstate, so he took all his equipment and everything with him because he needed to, and so we're trying to get that relaunched, but all that takes money. The equipment that we're using for the screenings is old, and we need the CPR, we need the instructors, which costs $300-500 to train an instructor. And then we need the dummies and all that stuff, and that costs a couple $1,000s. So right now what we got going is a fundraiser. It's called our Game Saver, which the Game Saver program is part of a bigger initiative that we started a few years ago called PASS, which is Positive and Safe Sports Initiative, and it incorporates the sports physicals, as on the safety side, just awareness. We provide information on there, or links to information where to find it. The different things like dehydration, concussions, just minor sports injuries, because we want to keep the kids safe and in sports, and they can't do that if they're injured.
Right.
So, and then other thing we were doing with that was the positive side, which was making sure that coaches are being positive role models and not negative role models.
Yeah.
So that's something that we kind of put on the back burner too, because there's a lot of different things that go into that. So we're trying to choose what to go with first, and then we'll go from there. So what we got going now is a fundraiser to help us raise funds for this. Which is kind of hard because, as anybody that's in youth sports knows, that especially if you run a team or a league, money is hard to come by.
Yes.
You got parents that you want to play sports, but they can't afford it because registration's $200-300 plus equipment, and that's just for some of the smaller sports. And so just trying to go out there, and for some reason, a lot of companies, when they see youth sports, they kind of shy away from it. And
really?
it's usually like when we were coaching our team, when we ran a team, a lot of the sponsorships and whatnot came from businesses that had kids in the program. So it's hard, and there's so many nonprofits doing so many things here, but the funding is just so hard to find. So we're trying to do a neat little fundraiser drive, an online raffle that we've started. And that's mainly, the main part of it is to help us raise money for the Game Saver program, for the CPR, the AD program, so we can get our instructors, so we can get more ADs. Another part of that Game Saver program is we're trying to get AD loaners out to the leagues and teams, because the city of Las Vegas doesn't have, or the Clark County doesn't have ADs available at the parks.
Wow.
I know Henderson has been really good with trying to get them out there.
Good.
So what we want to do is make sure that there's access to those, and those cost $2,000 each. And when you're talking about 100, 200 teams, that's a lot. So,
yeah.
So once we get this thing settled in, then we can start working on that program. But we have aging EKG machines. We'd like to buy some new echo machines, which cost about $10,000. And just putting on events takes a couple of $1,000s, and we do this about 2-3 times a year.
Okay.
And so with the Game Saver the Game Saver program, we have a fundraising raffle that we're going to do, and we've gotten a few businesses actually involved with us now that they're starting to see what we're doing, and that we're not a sports team. So a lot of people see sports and there's they immediately shy away. They don't even look at it. So we found a way to reach out to them, and now they're seeing that we're actually doing more health and wellness part. So we've had businesses like Apocalypse Vegas, Sun Buggy, which have donated some big packages. So we have we have 4 different packs, where we have what we call an adventure pack, and that has the adventure zip lining from flight lines. Sorry.
Okay. No.
Flight lines, and adventure combat ops, which is the Apocalypse Vegas. We're also doing. We just got a little bit of everything. We just got a million things. I actually didn't think that we'd get so many. I was just going to do we were just going to do individual packages, but then we started getting so many that we started combining them into packages. So we have an adventure pack. We have a day-night pack, which the Seersucker by the Hakkasan Group, they donate a $250 gift certificate.
Wow.
David Sachs Productions gave us like 3 pairs of tickets to give out to people.
Wow.
What's another one? Eclipse Theaters. What's that?
Oh, the rec center. Yeah.
Yeah, the rec center. That's actually part of the family pack. That's another one we have going. That has the Las Vegas Mini Grand Prix. It has Sequest, Springs Preserve, and a couple others that jumped on that.
Right.
And then we even got some gun safety classes that are on there. So people that want to do their CCW, so we got in there. So we want to make sure people are safe and trying to introduce them to that and whatnot. Then we also, what's a very unique part about it is we've partnered with some of the leagues. So we have like NYFL, girls youth basketball, Southwest girls softball, Vegas Sports Foundation, which is a flag league, NYS, which is another huge league here. And what they're doing is they are going to give us, they're giving away a certain amount of registrations for free. So not really free, but people can raffle. We're raffling those off for starts at like $5 for 10 entries.
Right.
And so that helps not only the league out, but it helps the parents out to get and it kind of expands that. And so what we've agreed to with them is kind of unique is that adventure pack that we talked about with Sun Buggy and Flight Lines and Apocalypse Vegas. They we have a refuge climbing. That's what we're calling our 50-50 raffle. So these leagues that are donating these registrations to raffle off. So for that package, it's $25 for 50 entries. And what we're doing is money raised from that, 50 of it will go to our Game Saver program, 50% of it. And then 50% of it will go to another program that we have called No Youth Athlete Left Behind. Okay. So that is to help pay for registration fees for kids that can't afford it, who may be financially struggling or whatnot, to keep them in sports. So we're going to give 50% of that will go to that program, which in turn will be distributed among the leagues that are participating. Yeah. So for them to provide registrations for kids.
Wow.
So
that's really cool. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, unless you have kids that are in sports, you don't realize how much it is. Even my friend, thank gosh, they're more well off, so it's not that much of a burden. But their kids' registration was $800 for hockey. Yeah, hockey is one of the most expensive ones. And that's not even for the equipment, which he says also just astronomical. And they're still struggling, and they are more well off, and it's very a huge burden, and you want to make your kids happy, and you want them to be doing good things, but it's a very difficult thing. So that's amazing you guys are doing that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely keeping kids in sports. Not every kid wants to play sports. Not every kid's going to play sports. Right. But there's a lot of structure that goes with that, especially when you have a good coach, and there's a lot of good coaches out there. I mean, I know we see the things on the news about these coaches, getting in a fight, and the parents getting in fights and whatnot, and it happens. So, if we can change that, we need to realize that, everybody wants their kid to be a professional athlete, but not every kid. We got to look at the other lessons that sports teaches them, from respect and discipline and just structure, and that's the biggest thing. And so we need to make sure that the coaches and the youth leagues are getting back to that, and a lot of them have been, because they're seeing that they've seen the problems too. And so there's been a lot of leagues that have folded because of that. So so these leagues now that are still here, there's like NYFL and NYS are some of the older ones, and they've really starting to focus more on that aspect of it. So it's a good thing.
Oh, that's awesome. And you don't even really think about that, but that is such an important thing you're doing. And I hope a lot of people really support you. And it sounds on top of it like you got amazing raffles. So even if they don't care about the charity, at least you got some really cool raffles.
Exactly. And that's the biggest thing is trying to get that out there to people to realize, because one thing that we've struggled with the fundraising part is we've tried to do other kind of fundraisers, like the location fundraisers, like Smashburger or Panda or stuff like that. And even just asking for donations for money, it's hard, because most of who we deal with are the leagues and the parents. So they're already putting not only money into the kids, but now they have
Right.
the teams are asking for fundraisers to cover for certain
Right.
things. So they're like, and we understand that that kind of comes first for them.
Of course.
So we're trying now to break that barrier outside of the sports community and get more into the regular community. And it's been tough, but and that's one thing that I'm hoping we can do with this fundraiser with these
Yes.
different packs is hopefully everybody shares it and keeps spreading it. And that's why we've gone with the firearms community and with what else with the other communities for date nights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just stuff that'll draw in more people.
Absolutely.
So and it has. We've already started to see a little bit more page likes coming in from people that are not in the youth sports community.
Gotcha.
So
Good.
hopefully we can continue to grow. It's only 2 weeks long. So, we just hope people spread it.
Yes,
So-
no, absolutely. It's such a really well needed thing. And like I said, even if you don't have kids or something, you can understand. And kids are the future, and you want them to be healthy and safe. And it's amazing what you're doing. And
I appreciate it.
thank God
you.
it's not so common, but there is still enough stories where, like you said, the kids just dropped it in the
Yeah.
middle of recess, not even
Yeah.
playing a sport. I mean, it's really horrible, but you guys are trying to prevent that as much as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah,
and that's
and
amazing.
it's prevention, awareness, and then
Yeah.
that's we used to have the slogan of get in the game, stay in the game, or get in the game, enjoy the game, stay in the game. Kind of switching that more into awareness, prevention, and was it awareness, prevention, and I can't think. I'm sorry.
No,
I
you're
just
okay.
got off work.
No, you're fine.
I've
Don't
been
worry.
over 12 days straight.
Well,
I'm
I'm
a little
exhausted.
tired.
Don't worry, you're
So,
doing good. You're good.
yeah, awareness, recognition, and prevention
There you
is
go.
what we want. So we want people to be aware of what the type of things are. We want them to recognize when it's about to happen or when it becomes an issue, and we want people to be able to prevent it from happening.
Yeah.
Or if it does happen, readiness was the other part of it. To be ready to act on it. So
Yes.
if we can get those parents and the coaches, most leagues require sports physicals and not all, so we're trying to get that changed. And even if your league doesn't require a sports physical, get it done.
Yeah.
Just get it done. I know most places can do them for $35. We do ours 3 times a year, usually right before each season, and just get it done, and you won't regret it. A good doctor will go through your family history, your personal history, and everything, and hopefully find something that's wrong, and just be precautious. And,
Yes.
And I forgot what I was gonna say.
No, you're,
So-
well, no, it really is. It's such an amazing foundation you have, and it's doing important things. So I really hope a lot of people will
Yeah,
support it. And
thank you.
like you said, not just the sports family community, but anyone who cares about kids at all.
Right, yeah. Because
Because
these kids are our future. I mean, they're going to be our
Yes.
future leaders, so we want to make sure that they have positive and safe experiences, and that's all we can ask.
Yes.
So.
And you're doing great stuff. So thank you for
Thank you, I
doing
appreciate
this.
it. Yeah.
And I really, like I said, I wish you well. And this sounds like you got amazing prizes alone. So hopefully that alone will draw a lot of people. So I wish you really well with
All right,
that.
thank
And
you.
you guys are just going to grow bigger and better.
Yeah,
so.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Brian, for
Hey.
being on.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please go check out LVSportz with a Z, correct?
Right. LVSportz with a Z.
Yeah, and support them, and what an amazing foundation. So please go help them out, and thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, never give up, always believe, and you'll achieve. Thank you, God bless.